afternoon, Team Kenya. Thank you for giving me your time and to conduct this interview of the Building Public Finance Capabilities in Africa program. As part of being part of the Building Public Finance Capabilities program, I'd like to know, how did the problem-driven iterative adaptation approach and the BPFC program shape your perspective of public finance reforms?
Thank you very much. I think for me, I have learned a few perspectives. The first one is being able to break down complex public finance reforms into very simple, action-oriented program. Of course, using data and getting information of the existing systems and putting everything in the local context. So context is important in terms of being able to address the problem with practitioners of working within the system. The second thing is, of course, looking for the solution, working with the people who are experiencing that problem. So we put together our stakeholders, both from within the system and outside the system, but who have the effect, who can feel the effect of these reforms, so that we are able to generate the solutions that is actionable, not just a copy-paste solution, but a solution that is locally derived from the local problem that we have. So I think that's the most important thing that I've learned through the PDIA approach. Thank you.
Which is to also add on what Mr. Kesa has indicated. One of the key takeaways I'll take from the program is the idea or the process of breaking down a problem and having incremental steps towards addressing that problem, where we don't necessarily have to have big solutions, but take small incremental steps and changes towards addressing a problem, and making sure that you engage all the relevant stakeholders, because they are able to provide different and new perspectives, or even clear up the way you thought initially the problem was, and provide a different way for you to handle that problem. And also within the PDIA, the BPFC, we've been able to share experiences with other countries, and also they're able to show us what they have been, how they approach the problem in their countries. So that also sort of helps you to try and contextualize your own problem, basing it on what your peer country is doing. So the peer review and peer information sharing is quite important. And then also just the teamwork or working together is another aspect that the BPFC and the PDIA approach has really opened up for me and the team. So I think that was really an eye-opener, and it shows that we can apply the skills that we've learned here to all the other PFM issues, and not that just the one that we have been handling and working on. And it's also important for us to get authorization and buy-in, where we're focusing on the authority, the ability, and the acceptance. It's important to get all the three for you to be able to effectively effect change and address the problems that you do encounter. Thank you.
Thank you, Doreen. As you shared, you've learned the PDIA approach has assisted you in breaking down problems and not just looking at them from a best practice point of view. Have you tried to apply the PDIA approach in your everyday work, apart from solving this public finance problem that the team has identified?
Yes, we have applied the stepwise approach, because we break down the problem into specific specific action points, which then identify who is the action person or responsibility and where the accountability lies. And in the process, we were able to engage various stakeholders, including the cash management unit, in which in fact we have understood the problem, and we escalated together to the public enterprise department, whose effect is that they have been able to issue guidelines on how various state-owned enterprises should not vary the expenditure mid-year so that they increase the expenditure, but they have to seek authority from the National Treasury before those variation is done. So that is something this program has helped us to do. Of course, together with the various stakeholders, we have been able to see how the issue of developing a treasury single account can be addressed. So, of course, it is work in progress, but based on the PDIA, it is important for us to note that the process doesn't stop here, but is for continuous engagement so that you can deal with the matter of cash management as a cause of problem, which leads us to utilize treasury bills, piling debt, domestic debt, which then crowds out the fiscal space for other expenditures like social services, education, infrastructure, and stuff. So the program has been very helpful in terms of guiding us on what kind of solutions we can develop, and what next steps are we supposed to take to crystallize the proposed solutions.
Having learned everything, it's clear that the team has learned new capabilities. Can you please share these new capabilities that you gained from your participation in the BPFC program, and which of the existing capabilities did you strengthen?
As for me, I have learned mostly teamwork. It's important that every member brings on board what they are capable of bringing on board, looking at the weaknesses and strengths of every member, and so every member is able to contribute as per their strength. Going down to our problem level, I'd say that one of the things that I've learned is that collaboration and coordination is important. It's actually more or less non-negotiable for effective cash management in our case. I've also learned that revenue predictability and expenditure discipline must go hand in hand for cash management to be effective. Moving forward, prioritization is critical. Quick wins can actually drive impactful reforms, while long-term strategies are institutionalized. Thank you.
Okay, on my part, the capabilities that I learned from this program is the use of fishbone analysis to maybe deconstruct a very complex problem into its causes, so that then you can deep into the causes of this problem, and also the use of data-driven decisions. You can use data to make decisions, and also the use of the action matrix, maybe to make or to program or to come up with your next steps, so that you can be following up with the previous work that you've been doing, so that it can be on a continuous way.
Thank you. The end of the BPFC program, as we've just concluded with the progress review workshop, marks the beginning of a new phase where the real work actually starts now. So I'd like to know how is the team going to continue taking the work forward in tackling the public finance problem, and what does the team aim to achieve in the coming months, and what does the team aim to achieve in the coming months?
Thank you very much. Having gone through this program very, very successfully, we have come up with a few action areas that we want to take forward after this workshop. The first one is to finalize the program report and share with our authorizer so that everybody is brought on board in terms of where we are. Number two is to prioritize our solutions in terms of what solutions among what we have, and when do we start to implement each one of them incrementally. Number three, we look forward to review and finalize the review of the structure of cash management within the national treasury in order to make the system more efficient. Number four is we look forward to engaging more MDS. More particularly, we want to engage IFMIS. We want to engage with the Department of Planning in our effort to see the possibility of integrating the work plan, integrate with the cash flow plan and the procurement plan, so that any change in one of them should trigger change in the others. We also want to see the possibility, want to review and see the possibility of setting aside some funds within the framework of the contingency fund, so that we are able to support our state agencies that remit the surpluses to the exchequer. Thank you.
Maybe just another thing that we also looking forward to is cascading this knowledge and lessons that we've learned here, the skills to our colleagues at the office, so that we're able to have a pool of PFM officers who also understand and can be able to solve problems using the same skills that we've learned from the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Doreen. I'm glad to hear that you do want to pay it forward back to your ministries to take forward the PDIA approach, and I believe that from your recommendation, we will see your colleagues actually participate in another program for another issue as we continue to reform PFM in Africa. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.